What's going on, peeps? I've made a sincere lapse of my judgment. I want to apologize to Joe Hawley for messing up his name and stating my opinion of his project, Hawaii Part 2. This resulted in him blocking me on Twitter, which, I deserve it, guys. You're right, Joseph. I'm an idiot. From one white Michigan boy to another. I hope you can accept my apology, Joseph. Maybe we can truly squash your beef at Sonic Lunch in Ann Arbor, if you're down. In order to make up for my mistake, I'll be reviewing his rap album, Joe Hawley, Joe Hawley. Oh shit. Joe Hawley. Following the acclaimed Hawaii Part 2, Joe began another solo project that was supposed to be a complete joke. He met with the Hornblow group in Nyack, New York, feeling pressured to create a new project, leading to him blurting out whatever was on his mind. It was the summer of 2015 where this mastermind came up with his next experiment, and within the next year, he worked to craft this vision of a Joe Hawley rap album. A self-promotional hip-hop, hop-hip type thing. Okay, it's not entirely a rap album. There's elements of neo-psychedelia, indie pop, rock, comedy, and plunderphonics. No wonder Rate Your Music enjoyed this one. It's not the first time Joe has incorporated rap into his material. Check out Welcome to Tally Hall, Ruler of Everything, Labyrinth, and that Just a Friend cover. Similar to Hawaii Part 2, he gathered a wide number of musicians to assist the project, including all 5 members of Tally Hall. Bora and his Cojum dip friends got involved as well. AudioFix described as the number 6 collaborations project of Tally Hall fans. The road to Joe Hawley, guys, would it be fine if I just said Double Joe instead, just to make things a bit easier? The road to Double Joe began on June 15th, 2016 when he opened up a fundraiser on Pledge Music to financially support the project. This wasn't the only catch. There were rewards! The rewards included a Joe Hawley branded clock, a video call of Joe, a chance to have Starbucks with Joe in Hawaii, a day of producing the album with Bora at the laboratory, and a Joe Hawley branded kazoo. I guess my question to you all is, did anyone actually receive these awards? I'm genuinely curious. Imagine waking up at 3 a.m. to see Joe Hawley on your wall. The fundraiser reached 25% of its goal on launch day. To encourage more people to fund, there was a campaign-exclusive series called Being Joe Hawley, featuring 1 to 4 minute videos about the record's production and whatever insanity Joe decided to film that day. Joe Hawley also created a website to promote the album. On June 20th, the campaign reached its goal. The same day, a 48-second bizarre advertisement titled Joe Hawley Advertisement 1, featuring the Ad Twins who he hired from Fiverr, was uploaded to Joe Hawley's YouTube page. It featured a snippet of, I'm not even kidding, Bahamian Rap City, where the twins sound like they're being held at gunpoint, calling it Certainly Music. On July 16, 2016, an update to the previous advertisement was posted clarifying that Joe's music isn't boring. Thanks for that. On July 27, 2016, a third advertisement was uploaded, revealing the title of the musical project as Joe Hawley, Joe Hawley. Black people, white people would also be teased before both twins have a manic episode about not being real people. Double Joe was originally scheduled for a release of September 23, 2016. However, after 18 hours of fan confusion, it faced a 2-week delay, and another one. Not as many delays as Almighty So 2 though. It was eventually released through Pledge Music on October 21st, 2016 as a download. A lot of samples here including Disney, Queen, Nintendo, The Doors, and Kanye West. He was just asking to get sued. Let's talk about it. What a perfect way to introduce us to the album, where it takes that one bit off the Tally Hall internet show where Rob Cantor states, "When Joe Hawley attacks, no one gets out alive." This is followed by Joe chasing after Rob while repeatedly stating his own name. You can already tell this is going to be a menacing experience where Joe chases down each listener. This is why he takes down the album so much, as he gets sick of attacking people every day. It also samples Disney's Main Street Electrical Parade, which doesn't help matters as Disney doesn't mess around when it comes to their bread. Leading us to black people, white people that piqued my curiosity from the title, of course. Similar to the theme of good and evil, the first half of this song literally just lists out a bunch of opposite pairs, with the exception of mythical creatures like Bigfoot and the Easter Bunny, who technically don't have an opposite pair. He sounds like a robot having a malfunction. Maybe it's Joe's astoundment of Bigfoot, if he was alive, that makes him go, what the fuck, real versus fake? The second half sees Joe spitting a bunch of mumble jumbo about being an alien before trying to define opposites in the most vague terms possible. In other words, it's a Joe Hawley track. It's all over this upbeat electronic instrumental. With Bring Her Along, I can recognize that We Will Rock You sample from a mile away. It took a while for the sample combined with that drum percussion to grow on me. I'd say it got there. Bring Her Along has this classic, confusing Joe Hawley lyricism we know and love. Sounds like nonsense, but something tells me every line here has a purpose. My first thought was this might be about a rich man falling in love with a girl named Francesca, who he knows is bad for him, likely a gold digger, but doesn't care. She doesn't understand hard work as everything has always been given to her. She knows how to play with your mind. Or it's the daughter of a rich man, like the $1 million champion Ted DiBiase, who wants to be normal. She's had her entire life given to her by her rich father. She finds a normal dude with a wild imagination and wants to run away with her. I've also seen people state that it could be about a lower class person attempting to enter or be accepted into the upper class. I think it's the opposite. It's an upper class person, that girl, trying to enter into the lower class to be normal. Just bring her along with you so she can feel normal, even if she doesn't understand it. Crazy Food gets pretty crazy, and it'll make you hungry. It also features Joe trying to be funny by bleeping out supposed cuss words that aren't even cuss words if you expect the lyrics. The lyrics being Joe being shocked by whatever this crazy food is. Maybe he's disgusted or amused by it. He then goes on to rapidly list a bunch of this crazy food over a video game sounding beat. It's like he's at Walmart trying to pick out as much weird food as he can before making it to the register to discover that it's cash only. This forces him to put it all back in like a comedic kind of fashion. Come on, Joe, you don't have the big bucks, broke boy? Anyway, Rotary Park follows it up. It turns out that Rotary Park is a real park in Pontiac, Michigan, where Joe and Zubin were attacked while filming the music video for Good Day. They called this experience traumatic as their equipment was stolen and they were badly beaten up. The next time I'm near that area, I'm gonna have to explore Rotary Park and post it on my community tab with a funny caption that only you freaks would understand. With that being said, this is a genuinely good song with a psychedelic groove that has this cinematic atmosphere that recaptures the terror of that night. I love that they had to mention how bad they smelled at the end. Your mother is a basketball. I can't believe I just listened to a song filled with yo mama jokes over a jump around sample. Not even Ghostbusters can bust her. Pause. This takes place during a basketball game where these opposing players get into a rap battle. I doubt it's a legitimate basketball game, probably just two elementary kids messing around on the court during recess. It's a complete mess where the coach is a paid actor trying to egg on these insults. And then one of the players randomly breaks the fourth wall to call our moms a basketball. Screw you, man. You're lucky I was the only child in my family to not play sports in high school. I'd still kick your ass in Minecraft PvP though. Hoods in the Woods explores a questless wizard, Alex, trying to find something to do with his life over a funky groove. How can you be a wizard if you don't have a quest? After walking endlessly for a quest, he calls Joe, who directs Alex towards a Nintendo console. It'll give Alex something to do with his time. I'm sure there are Zelda games with hundreds of quests. Something about this song gives me son and father vibes, where his son has too much free time, he's walking around his yard pretending to be a wizard with nothing to do. He calls out to his father to have him do something instead, like play his new Nintendo he got for Christmas. It's a thinker, but I think I got the idea of it. I like the reference to Tree Town Sound. That guy is such a tease on Twitter. The melody for the apologue of Hot Rod Duncan sounds so familiar, almost like it's some sort sort of sea shanty. It tells the story of drummer Ross Federman alter ego Hot Rod Duncan. In a van that seemed to be amble lived a shirtless man that wore an animal fur hat named Hot Rod Duncan, known for playing the banjo. He embraced the name even though he didn't understand why they called him that. Hot Rod always felt uncertain and ashamed because he didn't know his true identity. Hot Rod's father, who was wise in business, passed away, leaving him the banjo. Despite not knowing how to play it properly, Hot Rod traveled far and wide, improving his skills through sheer determination. As he traveled, Hot Rod discovered that his van was actually an electric spaceship. From the Appalachians to distant planets, he became renowned for his banjo skills and transcended global boundaries. During one extraordinary journey, Hot Rod flew to Jupiter and encountered intelligent life. Among them, he found his unicorn, a metaphorical representation of finding his true purpose and identity. Through his adventures, Hot Rod learned to see the banjo not as just an instrument, but as a friend that connected him with others. He played beautifully and brought joy wherever he went. When Hot Rod finally understood his true name and purpose, he returned to Earth. He became a legend in his own time, celebrated for his wisdom in poetic rhymes. Well, I guess you now know the Hot Rod Duncan lore. Thanks, Joe Hawley. The confusion returns on Aristotle's denial, or we get ourselves a piano rock piece that includes these philosophical arguments with a bit of anger behind them. Why does Tally Hall get confused with a soccer team? Why do I feel like a machine instead of a human? Why can't we still be friends? He continues to deny and deny and deny and refuses to accept himself. Well, here goes Bohemian Rhapsody. Love the glossy enchanting instrumental at the beginning before it shifts into more chaos as the track goes on. It's Joe's own Bohemian Rhapsody. Duh. It includes a bunch of historical references that are so scattered and messy. His rapid delivery doesn't help matters. It's like Joe is trying to flex how much knowledge he has in his head only to make a great mess. Or he doesn't understand what's going on and is just chucking out random information to see what sticks. It's almost like we're inside the mind of a crazed conspiracy theorist trying to make the biggest reaches of all time for a connection. And then we are in space! Is anything from this project not sampled? I'm convinced Joe is sampling himself on this album. Even the beatboxing is from a GarageBand pack. You can do that yourself? Anyway, I can't find anything else to say about delusional Joseph yelling about being in space. Perhaps he's on an isle unto thyself? Given the fact that I'm listening to this album at 11 p.m. and have work in the morning, Go to Bed is a good way to go out. A doo-wop track about telling his loud neighbors to go to bed. I can totally imagine Joe being that one angry old man yelling out his window at night telling these people to turn their music down. Reminds me of the introduction to Black or White by Michael Jackson. I also prefer this as the closing track in comparison to White Rabbit, the last line being Good Night Joe Hawley. And you know what, I can see why Jefferson Airplane didn't clear Joe Hawley's cover, filled with pitched up vocal effects that I'm sure gave the poor old men a heart attack. It does fit on the album in a way, as the original song contains references to classic novels like Alice in Wonderland. Given the record's theme of imagination, I do understand its purpose, even if this sound is quite creepy and eerie in comparison to the original version. This leaves me feeling unsure of what I just listened to. I definitely get why it has a cult following given how strange the lyrical content appears to be, as well as these quirky off-kilter production choices. I enjoyed the features, even if some of them blended into the background of Joe's crazy arrangements. The ones like Alex Kessler, Earl Stuckey, Rob, Zubin, Ross, and the basketball players really helped out with telling a story. Lots of neat song topics, but I think the production and lack of direction really brings this down for me. Sometimes it just got too messy. I was certainly entertained, but I don't see myself coming back to this like I have for Hawaii Part 2 and Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. I don't know how this man went from a 9/11 musical to a parody album of several stolen samples that could get him sued. At the end of the day, it is a comedy record that shouldn't be taken that serious. Joe just wanted to have a bit of fun. Just please, Joe, don't attack me again. It was rather quiet after its release, I wonder why. Thankfully, more Joe content arrived on May 7th, 2017, where a music video for Crazy Food was released. Later on June 22nd, 2017, a lyric video for Rotary Park was uploaded. Then for the rest of the time, it was just a bunch of demos, audio samples, and instrumental versions of the songs from the project. Plus, Double Joe's website just went belly up in late 2017. I'm guessing the man forgot to pay the yearly subscription, or he just gave up on the project. This seemed to be the case for the next 2 years until April 16th, 2019. Do y'all remember The Mind Electric? A song that is the same song played both forward and in reverse? Well, the genius white boy that is Joe Hawley released the album to streaming services. This album is identical to Double Joe, except that the tracks are reversed, played in reverse order, and have reverse titles. The only exception is Aristotle's Denial, which does not play in reverse, likely because it's the only one that didn't have any copyrighted samples. Yeah, apparently this album was only released to avoid copyright issues. Due to the legal issues, the original album wasn't allowed in streaming services at the time, until November 11th, 2020 after obtaining the rights. However, there were some changes. Aristotle's Denial is the only song that remains reversed. The song title of Crazy F was changed to Crazy Food. I guess he just wanted to keep things PG. What a nice Christian boy. White Rabbit would end up being removed entirely from the re-release because it was a cover the band refused to clear. The project's strange release activity would continue over a year later. On March 13, 2022, it was just removed from a bunch of streaming services for unknown reasons. I don't know if he just enjoys messing with his fans' minds or something, as Variations on a Cloud gets removed in a similar pattern. Maybe Tally Hall is finally coming back, guys! When asked about it, Joe simply replied, "Don't know." That's probably the same response you'd get from him if you were to ask why he made this album in the first place. Thankfully, the album reappeared on Spotify on April 1st. On April 15, 2022, an advertisement was released to address this issue, humorously featuring an actor dressed as Jesus, explaining that it was due to legal action. To top it all off, the reversed edition was removed from streaming services on November 9, 2023. This includes the most popular song from the album, Aristotle's Denial, and Singlet Special. The latter's a major shame, as that one is pretty solid indie electronica. It's an exploration of whether skills in specific areas make us unique or special. It's also like an address to the music industry, questioning if the artist is any different or more talented than his peers. When you make weirdly catchy songs like Banana Man, can you blame Joe for thinking this way? I guess it's gone, for now. What a strange man Joseph is. I bet he giggles to himself with his feet up like this when he pulls these stunts. Either that, or is a third party trying to sabotage his catalog due to the allegations. He hasn't put out an album since, besides the singles Since I Don't Have You, Weird Bed, and Or Yes Please, Christmas Theme, Sleigh Ride, Invincibility Star, and the cover of Elliott Smith's Everything Means Nothing to Me. There's been rumors of an acoustic self-titled album since 2019, however, there's just been no news since then. I'm just hoping his mental health is his main priority at the moment, and whenever he finds himself in a better place, we could get something. I wouldn't mind if it was another Miracle Musical album, Joe Hawley's solo record, or Tally Hall album. Ever since I discovered Tally Hall, I've just been fascinated by the universe the band members have created. I'm sure this won't be the last time I'll check out a Tally Hall related project. Cojum dip, anyone? With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. A little silly, but I wanted to match the tone of the release. I know I said I was going to drop a massive video today. That'll be next week. Trust me, the wait will be worth it. I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure to love all, and peace.
Thank